No one was prepared. No one was warned. No spoilers. Just a short, blurry clip taken from an unexpected angle, and in a matter of seconds, the world stopped breathing. Just 5 minutes earlier, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan had been spotted at the same location, the Qatar Airways 2026 event. No camera greetings, no press conference, no overt gestures, but enough to shake a generation of fandom. 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes that transformed global timelines into a sea of speculation, tears, screams, and unanswered questions. Their names immediately skyrocketed to the top of trending lists. It was as if the universe had deliberately brought together two names previously separated by distance, busy schedules, and public silence. The footage appeared from an anonymous account. There was no sensational caption, no claims. Just a short clip showing two all-too-familiar figures walking in the same area, under the soft lighting of an exclusive venue. But to those who knew them, there was no doubt. The slightly bowed black hat, the distinctive posture, the gait so familiar to millions. And on the other side, a tall figure with a calm aura, a steady gait, and a silhouette that seemed unchanged for years. In a matter of seconds, the fandom was split into two, those trembling with disbelief and those bursting into tears because they felt this is real. There was no obvious interaction in the video, no smiles, no glances, but that was precisely the power. The silence was louder than 1,000 words. Many wondered, were they there together? Or was it just a coincidence that they were in the same place? But for a fandom that had lived with every little detail for years, this kind of coincidence felt too big to be a coincidence. Qatar Airways 2026 was no ordinary event. This was a world-class stage, a gathering place for global figures. The mere presence of one of them was already a highlight, but the presence of these two names, in the same room, at the same time, created unstoppable waves. Some fans began comparing angles of the room. The backgrounds in the photos were different, but they had similar decorative elements. The same chandelier, the carpet with an identical pattern. Small details that, when put together, formed a heart-wrenching conclusion. They were indeed in the same location. And then, the speculation grew even further. Why were there no official photos? Why were there no posts from the agency? Why did everything feel so quiet when their presence was usually announced with such pomp? The silence, in fact, seemed to speak volumes. Some in the fandom began to reminisce about the past. The years when their time together was so bright, when a single glance could spark weeks of discussion, when a small smile could fill thousands of pages of theories. Amidst the mounting speculation, small details emerged that further enriched the story. Several eyewitnesses claimed to have seen both security teams in adjacent areas, though maintaining a professional distance. This raised the suspicion that organizers had indeed placed them in zones not too far apart, as if anticipating the possibility of these two entertainment industry powerhouses meeting. Some also noted their attire that night. Both were dark, simple, and devoid of flashy logos. A style that felt low profile for two stars of their stature. For some fans, this simplicity felt like an unspoken message. They came to attend the event, not to create a sensation. But that's precisely why the sensation was created. In fandom discussion forums, many wrote about the strange feeling they felt. It wasn't euphoric, nor was it simply nostalgia. Rather, it was a feeling of warmth, calm, and a little emotion. It was like reuniting with a piece of their lives that had meant so much to them. Some new fans, who may not have experienced their time together at the beginning of their careers, began to wonder why this one brief appearance had such an impact. And longtime fans responded with stories about the long journey, about laughter, hard work, misunderstandings, and how time shapes everything. But time passed. Their careers progressed in their own directions, and the public slowly grew accustomed to seeing them on different paths. Until today. Until 5 minutes ago, A brief moment that seemed to reopen a door that had been tightly closed. Across various platforms, responses poured in endlessly. Some wrote, "I don't need them to talk. I just need to know they're still in the same world." Others said, "It's like a dream I've forgotten how to wake up from." Some fans even admitted their hands were shaking as they replayed the video. It wasn't because of the sensation of gossip, but because emotions that had been buried for too long were now rising to the surface. What made the situation even more intense were their expressions. There was no overly cheerful face, no fake gestures. They both looked calm, professional, as if they realized the world might be watching, but they chose to continue going their own way. That attitude actually made the moment feel more real. It wasn't a performance. It wasn't fan service. It was just two grown people with a long history in the same room. And for the fandom, that was more than enough. Some fandom analysts began to speculate that they were likely invited as separate guests, each with their own agenda. But their overlapping schedules made a meeting inevitable. But again, nothing could be confirmed. And perhaps that's the beauty of it. Because this moment lives not through official statements, but through feelings. Feelings that can't be denied. Feelings that have been there for a long time. Many longtime fans admitted to digging through folders of memories. Old videos. Old interviews. Photos they used to analyze often. It was as if those 5 minutes had reopened an entire archive of emotions that had never truly gone away. But on the other hand, there were also quieter voices. Those who said, "Let them live as themselves." Those who hoped this moment wouldn't turn into a new kind of pressure. And those voices were warmly welcomed. Because behind all the excitement, the fandom also grew. They learned. They understood that what mattered most wasn't the narrative they were constructing, but the happiness of the two people they'd always admired. Still, it was hard to deny the thrill it created. One short video. One corner of the room. One serendipitous moment. Enough to shake the Chinese entertainment world. Enough to reconnect the global fandom. And perhaps, somewhere in that venue, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan realized that their mere presence in the same room was enough to create a massive wave. Or maybe not. Maybe for them, this was just another day in the midst of busy schedules. But for the world out there, it was a reminder that some connections are never truly broken. That some names, when mentioned together, still hold incredible power. And that sometimes, just 5 minutes is enough to reignite the millions of hearts that once believed in a single story. There was only one question now. Will this moment pass as a silent coincidence? Or will it be the beginning of something we dare not yet imagine?